Hey there, it's Beth St. John, empowerment coach and personal trainer here at Everfit Training Studio, bringing you your empowered topic talk of the week. So the empowered topic this week is goal setting, and it's an important topic because number one, who doesn't have something in their life they want to achieve? And how many goals have you honestly set? Probably quite a few, maybe some New Year's resolutions. And how many have you really achieved? I hope you've achieved some and that you can feel very good about it, because 70% of goals fail. So there's something wrong in the whole process. So I wanted to talk to you about that because there's something called empowered goal setting that's very important, and you can actually adapt and adopt into your life. So it's gonna take a little bit of a shift in mindset when you're thinking about how you're setting goals specifically. So we're gonna talk a little bit on one side of desired-based versus fear-based goal setting. And I'm gonna give you an experience that you can actually adopt, and I should say adapt into your life right now as we speak. Then I'm gonna share with you 5 different tools that we use for empowered goal setting, and then give you a little incentive at the end of this. So stay tuned. Okay, so desire-based versus fear-based goal setting. So when you're thinking about the goal that you want to achieve, where is the drive coming from? Where was it motivated? Where did it come from? Think about it for a moment. A lot of individuals, and I would like to paint a picture for you, have fear-based motivation. It creates an urgency, and it is an actual energy, and it's an energy that we can use for a short period of time, but it is not sustainable. So the actual empowered goal setting is based on your desires. It's based on what you actually trust, what you want to do, and what you really, truly, what it says, desire to do on a daily basis to reach your desired goal. Let me paint a picture. I'm going to use a client experience, and many people can identify with this, and maybe you can too. It's about weight loss. Well, with this being said, Rachel, okay, is her name. I'm gonna keep her name confidential, but we'll just call her Rachel. Rachel wanted to lose 40 pounds, and she tried to do it on her own before she saw me. And she came to me pretty frustrated because this was her story. Number one, she was really overwhelmed and hated the way she looked in the mirror. She felt like she would never be able to step foot on a beach and enjoy her grandkids. She would never be able to swim because she didn't want to be in a swimsuit, and she loved swimming. And even her intimate life with her husband was affected because she didn't like the way she looked. And she focused on that. And then thirdly, she had just gone to the doctor and was at risk for cardiovascular disease, which is one of the #1 killers for women in this country as well. So she had these things, big fears behind her, motivating her to lose this 40 pounds. And she tried to do it on her own. And she said, well, I will move more and I will eat less because that's what everybody says I need to do. And I know that I eat poorly, so I'll eat things that are healthier for me, and I will do what it takes to lose this 40 pounds. Well, she forced herself to do that, and she forced herself to eat things she didn't really like. She even joined some exercise programs online, and some things that she just didn't resonate with her, and her joints started hurting, but she did start seeing improvements, which was motivating for her. And when she started seeing those improvements, she started losing 15 pounds. So let's say about 15 pounds weight loss, and she liked what she was seeing in the mirror, right? She maybe saw some muscles starting. Her husband even started noticing, and you'd think that this would be a motivator, right? An extra motivator to keep going. But actually she started losing steam. And the reason being is she kind of reached this threshold. It's called the urgency threshold, right? the urgency wasn't as great anymore because number one, her husband started paying attention a little bit, saying, hey, kudos, I'm really liking the way you're looking and feeling, and your attitude's changing, yay. And even she noticed that, but at the same time, she was like, okay, I guess I'll continue eating the way I'm eating, and I'm just gonna force myself to get, and she just got overwhelmed, and she decided, well, I'd like to have a little bit of ice cream, and I just love pasta, so I'm gonna start adding some pasta in. The urgency wasn't big enough to keep her towards her goals, so she could reach that 40 pounds. Well, what happened is she ultimately ended up quitting. She gained the weight back. Her numbers still were not very good when she visited the doctor the second time. And she finally was so overwhelmed, of course, she hired a personal trainer. And the biggest thing is seeing what her life would be like if she would have taken the desired-based approach versus that fear-based approach to setting that first goal. If she would have focused on things she liked, like let's say things that I like to eat, that are energy rich, that will give me the energy throughout the day. I won't be food deprived or nutrient deprived. I'll have energy, and focus on those of things she did like about herself, like maybe how her body was changing, how her attitude felt good, and she had the energy after workouts to do housework and play with the grandkids. And perhaps even if she decided to find something she was confident enough to wear that she really liked and got back into swimming. And she did that. She did that finally. And her life was significantly different, and she lost the weight. And she kept going, and she keeps going to this day, trying to reach that goal. It's totally different in energy, and it's sustainable when we're focused on what we most desire, what we like, what we want, what we trust, trying not to focus on those things that we can't do, don't want to do, and all of those, and stop forcing ourselves. So I give you that challenge today to think about, on one hand, where are my motivations coming from? Are they external? Are they fear-based? What's happening here? Do they feel natural? Because desired-based goal setting should feel natural. You should be able to accomplish it with ease and grace. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for my clients. And so there's 5 different tools that can actually enhance this whole process as well. And that is 5 things. I'm not going to go really deeply into them because we can do that on another day. But tool number 1 is to create a life mission. And that life mission is so important. And successful people that set empowered goals always know what their life mission is, and they connect their goals to it. Very powerful. Number 2, form a vision around your goal and find out what your major commitments are. Number 3, empowered blueprinting. There's controlled based goal setting where you kind of know where point A is, point B is, where I want to go, and you try to be very strict in your plan on how you're going to get there. Well, organic blueprinting, which is empowered blueprinting, is totally different, and it totally attaches you to that ability to be focused on your desires and reach your goals more naturally and enjoyable, and actually enjoy the process. And then you also have a powerhouse of action filters. Okay, so when you use action filters and actually filter out what actions have the best potential to getting you to your goal, you're on the right track. And then the power of leverage. So we can leverage our time, our energy, our resources, and we can really use them to get us forward in our goal attainment process. So with those tools and your ability to find out and start choosing your goals from an empowered place and focusing on the desires will totally start to restructure the way that you set your goals and achieve success for the long term. So I challenge you today to start being aware and start choosing goals and start asking yourself those questions of where are your motivations coming from? And then finally, if you want to embark on the process of empowered goal setting and develop in all 5 of those tools that I just talked about, you have that opportunity this month on June 24th from 12 to 4:30, lunches included. And if you liked this video and you were inspired enough to join us, you get 10% off. Just mention the video. I'll give you 10% off for that full day seminar. It's an entire workshop that is experiential, conversational, and you will get a huge amount of support and tools you need for ultimate success. And that's what we want for you, is we want you to be part of that 30% and beyond that is achieving their goals in their life and making the most exceptional life for you. We also have a forum that's once a month, and it's this month. It is the 7th. It's on Wednesday, and you get to experience empowerment in its pure state. It's a fun way of really getting to know what your strengths are and what empowerment is. And we also have great incentives for these workshops at those events. You'll even get a deeper discount than 10%. So take advantage of it. We have it once a month. It's one Wednesday a month. You can inquire and look for the events on Facebook. So I hope that you go forward in an empowered goal-setting mindset and that you have an empowered day ahead.